Hello, my name is Coach Jack Warner, and I'm starting my course with going over the fundamentals of helping people winning with money to achieve financial success. I started this course because I've always heard talking to people, clients, friends, and family, when I'm starting to teach personal finance, I hear a lot of the same comments like, oh, I wish I had this class in high school. Oh, I did something I missed out in high school. They never taught us that in high school. And so it inspired me to start my own financial coaching business, and I have a passion for bringing education, financial literacy, and good money habits to families and individuals throughout our nation. So going over the list, my course, I'll be covering all of these steps, but going over the steps to achieve financial freedom. First one's get on a budget. The second one's building an emergency fund. The third one is plan to eliminate or limit consumer debt. Step 4, you're going to boost your savings. So you should add on to step 2. Step 5, invest in retirement accounts. Step 6, beginning paying off home or collecting a sizable down payment. The good thing about point 6 I want to point out is all of these steps are different for everybody. Everybody's going to look different. People are going to have different amounts in their emergency funds. People are going to have different amounts of debt. They're going to have different amounts of savings and retirement accounts, et cetera, et cetera. So this is all very personal, related to you or your family's financial situation and lifestyle choices. Step 7, invest in individual accounts or in a business, begin building wealth. And step 8, have fun with the money, take more vacations. And step 9, be charitable. So each one of these steps I'm going to go over a little bit today in this video, but my later videos I'm going to cover, especially budgeting first. I'm going to go over that more in depth. So step 1, budget. You need to create a plan with your money. Instead of allowing money to control us, we need to control our money. So a good way to start, listing everything you purchased last month. Or if you already have it, you can write down everything you spend money on for a month. Easy way to do this, you keep receipts, or if you only use one, say you only use one credit card or one debit card to make your purchases, just print off your bank transaction, your last month's bank statements. This helps you kind of start seeing things on on categories you spend money on and where you can start cutting. So some budgeting tips, and again, like I said, in another video, several videos in a series, I'm going to cover budgeting strategies and how to create a budget and why we should even budget anyway. Budgeting tips, if you've never budgeted before, you can go old school, just put pencil to paper, start writing it out. Write out what you spend money on. Another tip is you can organize expenses into categories. So even if you're writing, or if you want to go high tech and use a budgeting app or whatever it might be, you can just write it out or list it out. So if the common ones I put there is groceries, gas, health, electronics, utilities, etc. And you want to do this for 1 month and then closely analyze the groceries and going out to eat categories. These are 2 areas that we can, as Americans, we can definitely reduce spending, or at least control spending more. Step 2, build an emergency savings fund. You do not want to touch this money, hence emergency savings fund. Put it in an account, put it in a bank account. Mine's even labeled, I have an emergency savings fund. I don't touch it. It just stays there. Everybody's different though. Examples, high schoolers, $500. You can see different lifestyles down here. Go with what you feel is comfortable. There's a study out there right now that is somewhere between 60-70% of Americans, I can't remember the exact stat, but somewhere between 60-70% of Americans cannot cover $1,000 emergency. Most likely because we weren't taught this. But a good way to do this is because nobody's building emergency savings funds nowadays. So this is, after you create a budget, really this should be step 1, but it kind of coincides with building a budget. So you can do it at the same time, really. Step 3, tackle debt. Eliminate taking on more consumer debt. So what I mean by consumer debt, that's credit cards, car payments, any kind of personal loans. You can get those credit cards at the different stores that offer them. You want to eliminate taking on any more consumer debt. So cut your spending in all those areas and then start paying it off. There's two different ways, and I'll cover this more in another video. There's two different methods you can look at tackling debt. One is the snowball effect, and this is more the psychological one. You start at the smallest loan first, smallest loan balance that you owe money on, and you work to the largest. And then the opposite of that is the avalanche, which makes more logical sense to go this way. There's no right or wrong here. I think people can choose whichever one they feel comfortable with. Avalanche, you start with the highest interest loan first, and then you work to your lowest interest loan, whatever that might be. Some people like the snowball effect more because they're getting small wins, while avalanche, it takes a little while to get your first, total paid off, whatever. Some consumer debt management tips. Do not take out any more transactions with credit cards. This is what I was talking about. Eliminate taking on more consumer debt. No more payments with these. Don't buy anything else. That way you're not adding on to your debt. So stop all debt spending. And then start taking these actions. Cancel credit cards. So you still have to pay off the balance. Just because you cancel the credit card does not mean that you do not have to pay off the balance any longer. That just means you can't spend any more money on there. Go ahead and take all your autofill stuff on Google or on the internet off. Go ahead and Amazon, take all the autofill stuff off, delete it, cancel the account, cut up the credit card, and start paying off the balance. I advise that people pay off their car payment first because transportation is definitely essential. And this kind of throws a wrench in that snowball or avalanche strategy. But car payments should be definitely prioritized because transportation, we need it. And depending on the severity of the situation, start selling stuff. Sell your extra vehicles. If you have some jet skis, RVs, boats, four-wheelers, whatever, start selling them. You only use them for part of the year anyway. Especially if those items are carrying a balance for you. Have garage sale, start selling any extra clothes you might have. Whatever your lifestyle calls for. Step 4, boost your savings. So we're adding on to step 2, adding on to our starter emergency savings. It's advised, a lot of financial experts out there advise us for us to save at least 3 months of living expenses. So start with building your savings to at least 3 months. And we want to focus on essentials here. So when you're thinking about that 3 months of expenses, we're focusing on essentials in our budget, like house, food, energy, water, internet, cell phone. So don't think like your part of your savings is entertainment, like Netflix or Xbox or going out to eat or whatever. That should not be included into this. And then eventually, when you feel comfortable, expand that to 6 months and even 12 months of expenses, depending on your comfort level. Step 5, invest into retirement funds. Aim for about 10 to 15% of your take-home pay to invest. If you're an employer that has, or I'm sorry, if you're an employee that has an employer that offers 401ks as part of their benefit package, use it, max it out. That's free money that you're giving up if you're not maxing out. So if they match you 3 to 6%, that's free money. That's free couple $100 each month that goes into your retirement account. Make sure you're taking advantage of that. You can do this, and you can do the Roth and traditional IRAs as well. Again, I'm going to be covering this more in depth in several videos later on. Roth IRA is after tax money. So your money's already been taxed through your income. Government's already taken it out, and now you can invest in it. And then later on, whenever you withdraw that money to use in retirement, it is not taxable. Traditional IRA, exact opposite, before tax money. So it's income that has not been taxed, and you can get a tax benefit on it too. Right now in 2022, it's $6,000 for you and your spouse. So you do $6,000 for you and $6,000 for your spouse as well. But when you do withdraw, when you retire, you do have to pay taxes on it. Step 6, plan to pay off home loan earlier. Or again, everybody's different. Everybody's on a different step in their financial journey here. Make larger payments on the home note, regardless of term or interest, or begin building up a sizable down payment. Even if you're just adding $50 to $100 per month extra, this can really help you save. And you can put this in, there's all those free mortgage calculators, put what you're paying now, calculate that out for the forecast it to your mortgage schedule. Then put that number to the side, include the interest, throw 100 throw 50 to $100 in there and see how that changes it. You'll save tens of thousands of dollars in interest over, depending on your mortgage, 15 to 30-year fixed mortgage. Step 7, build wealth. Once you've done all the other steps, of course, your retirement accounts are maxed out of the taxable contributions that you are allowed to put in there. There are other ways you can invest money. Children's college fund, starting a business, considering hiring a financial advisor to invest into more individual accounts. Of course, you have to keep in mind that these are taxable accounts. Invest in real estate, all good ways to build wealth and keep your financial freedom going and helping out your family in the future. Step 8, have fun with your money. This is something that a lot of people struggle with, especially if they started budgeting. They've worked so hard in step 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to 8. They've worked so hard building this nice nest egg. They've got themselves out of debt. They don't want to see themselves go back into debt. Having fun, taking more vacations, going out to eat, because you've done it. You've earned it. It's important to make sure you enjoy your money too. And the most important step, I believe, is once you get to this level, step 9 is give. And I don't know if anybody quotes this, or has been quoted or credited for quoting this, so I'm going to credit myself, but nothing signifies financial freedom like the act of charitable giving. You've won. You've won at money, which is what my course is about. You've won, you've achieved financial success. Now you can help others achieve financial success, or other organizations. So you can give all types of ways you can give, donate to local charities or your church, programs that you're passionate about. You go out to eat, leave a couple $100 extra as a tip. If you're in a fast food line, pay for the person behind you, whatever. There's all types of ways, opportunities to give. Okay, so that's the 9 steps of winning with money. And again, if you follow me, other videos will be coming out. The first series will be directed at getting on a budget, / a little bit about emergency funds too. But both of these will be covered in my next few videos.